music, news, and your views, and your views. What would life be without an X?
And today my guest is Jasmine K, and in a second I'm going to read a bit about her, but before then, let me hear her voice on the microphone. Hi.
Hi, good morning, guys.
Good morning, how are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful.
Alright. My guest is a recent graduate from Birmingham Southern College with a degree in mathematics and a minor in business administration. She's in Ghana as an intern from different schools, and they hope to help the education system through funding when she goes back to say about life mathematics. Yes?
No.
Isn't it difficult?
It is. It has always been difficult, but I think with hard work, you're able to do it.
Why should I go through this hard work before I grasp a subject? Well, when it comes to reading, I don't suffer. I don't think I do really hard to do anything reading. Being in philosophy, being in whatever.
I think when you first started to learn to read, you did. You faced challenges as to how to pronounce words, how to read in a way that it flowed. So people struggle with reading as well, but math is just, you have to have someone to guide you to make you love it. So I had that.
Okay. So what do you think causes some of us not to like it, not to understand it? You mathematician, the sort.
And because we are allowed to say that we don't like math, because it's socially accepted to say, I can't do this, I think that prompts people to be more likely to
reject it psychologically.
Right.
Really? Well, what should have been the right thing to do in order for everyone to accept, love, and understand maths?
I think I fell in love with math when I was in 5th grade. I had an amazing math teacher who I gave a hard time all the time because I felt like I couldn't do math. And she always was there to support me and lift me up and tell me I can do it. And she would give me tricks so that I could learn how better to figure out how to do things the way my mind thinks. So everyone thinks differently. And so math is about having a problem and figuring out how to solve a problem. So the way that I solve the problem may be different from the way you solve the problem. And so it's about figuring out the best way to get to the solution with your mindset.
Okay. This look like the application of mathematics, isn't it?
Yes.
Which of the states in the U.S. do you come from?
I'm actually from Tennessee.
Oh, okay. What is like popular? What is Tennessee made of?
I'm from Memphis.
I know. Chicago is a windy city, right?
Yes.
Wind.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I am from Memphis, which is known for blues.
Blues. Is that a blues music or what?
Yes, like blues music.
Okay. Why? Most of the artists.
Yes. So you have people like B.B. King, who came out of Memphis. It also was known for soul, because Stax Records was founded there, which was a big competitor with Motown. And so you have a lot of big names coming out with soul music from Memphis. Yeah.
So you biologically like soul music and blues.
Yes.
Anyway.
You have to.
When did the idea of coming to Ghana or Africa? Is it your first time in Africa?
It is. It's actually my first international trip altogether.
Woo! Wow. So this is your first international travel. Well, that's amazing.
Well, thank you.
So what prompted this travel? Like, when did it come into your mind? Like, when you go to Africa, and if I'm going to Africa, why now?
So I have pretty much always had the dream of It's altered over the years, obviously. But when I was 10 years old, Oprah Winfrey built a school, which is so cliche, I know. And all these kids were so happy to go to school. And that's when it hit me. Not everyone has the opportunity to have education, and not everyone has the opportunity to have quality education. And so from then on, I've kind of pushed towards education. Now, my senior year of college, I was all over the place, and I didn't know what I wanted to do. Obviously, as a math major, they pushed me into the corporate world. But I decided, with the help of one of my mentors, that I should follow my dream. And so I worked 2 jobs for a few months. I saved up all the money, and I bought my ticket to come to Ghana. And I've been working at schools and stuff since.
Wow. So what are some of the schools in Ghana that you've been working with? And when you say working with, what exactly do you do at the schools?
Okay. I worked for a small village past Pram and Ningo.
Okay.
It's called Kongno.
Okay.
And I worked for the basic school there. I taught mathematics. And I just bonded with the teachers, sat in classrooms, things of that nature. And then I've also worked with a school that is out in Athenia. And it was called the Emperor Academy. And there I was interviewing teachers, sitting in classrooms. I actually wrote the owner of the school about some of the problems that were faced in the school. And so he's addressing some of those problems and fixing them. So, yeah.
So you just tied down and decided to be part of the solution solving. I love that idea. And how has it been going?
Amazing. I came to Ghana with no family, no friends. I didn't know anyone. And I feel like I have the biggest family now. I have 1,000 billion aunties now.
We're going to talk about the family system in Ghana, how you see it.
Yes. So I have so much family and so much support, and I am so grateful and blessed for that. So.
When do you think going back?
I'm going back in June. So I have been here from September, and I'll be here until June.
Okay. When are you coming back? Do you intend coming back to stay in
Absolutely, Ghana? Absolutely. I don't know if I will live in Ghana because I'm such a traveler. I like to move around a lot. But I definitely love Ghana. Ghana has a part of my heart. This is like my first big trip, and so I obviously have to come back all the time.
Okay, so now let's break that. Before coming to Ghana or Africa, what was the perception you knew of Africa before coming here?
Actually, that's a really good question. Most of the media, at least in America, is image of, you only see Africa in these commercials where it's asking for you to donate money to help a starving kid. And so I knew that Africa wasn't that way, but I feel like by being here, I have helped my family to see that Africa isn't that way. And so it's a really weird psychosis we have going on where I would tell my family I'm going to Africa, and they would ask, why would you want to do that? And then I would tell a stranger who is white, I'm going to Africa, and they'd be like, that's amazing. Like, how wonderful. And so it's been amazing to show them that Africa isn't what you see on TV, just like African Americans aren't like what you see on TV.
We'll go there. We'll talk about that.
So that has been my small hope that my family will start to understand Africa and see it in a better light.
So now you've been here, you've been taking pictures of places, sending videos. What do they say about it?
I actually sent my dad, and I tell people this all the time because I think it's hilarious, but I sent my dad a video of a rooftop bar And he was like, "Oh, you're back in America." And I was
Where
like,
was it? Kawala?
It was across from the Crow Mall.
Okay.
The Sky Bar.
Okay. Okay.
So I sent him like, nice video of this nice bar, and he was like, "Wow, that's awesome." So, yeah, little things like that where it's like, "Oh, okay, this will change my perception. This will give me a more dimensional idea of what Ghana has to offer."
Or Africa is. There was a time where they even used to box the whole continent of 55 or 54 countries as one country. Africa is a country anyway.
Yes, it's still a very prevalent problem. Definitely.
And you said you came here without knowing anyone.
No, I didn't know anyone.
Why? You didn't go to the internet to search even if you got some people?
I knew of people, which is a lot different than knowing people.
Okay.
So I knew of amazing woman. Her name is Miss Godfrey. She's been like a mother to me since I've been here. And I knew that I could stay on her land, and I would be fine. And so I flew in. I never even talked to her before. And I flew in, and we met up, and we just instantly clicked. So, yeah.
That's amazing. Shout out to her. What's her name again?
Miss Godfrey.
Is she from the U.S.?
She is. She's from Jamaica, actually.
Oh, okay. Shout out to you if she's listening. Wow. So, you came down and the perception is totally different.
Yes. Yes.
What kind, like, physically can you share with our listeners and viewers exactly some of the things that made you feel, apart from the skyline and those things, that made you feel that no, Africa, Ghana is not what we see on TV?
I think, and I've only been living in the city for maybe a couple weeks. For the most part, I've been out in villages. And so, I think because they don't have everything that I have, people see it as less. But I think it's amazing because they value family. They value family time. They value school. They want to be in school. And I think that's amazing. These are like things that you assume they don't want because they don't have what we have. So, I'm so sorry. Can you ask me a question?
I'm like,
I got on a little rant.
Yeah, what practical things have you seen in Ghana? Like, you mentioned some, like, you took a picture in that Pramo area to your dad and he was like, you're back into the state. I'm like, apart from that, what else?
Have I seen
that
physically different than
changes
the
the perception you were told there?
Just being around the people, you think that it would almost be hopeless, and that's not the case. There's so much, like, I feel like it's almost like so much culture that we don't have, and we've lost that. I mean, we've developed our own type of culture in America, but I feel like it's different when you know what you came from, like when you know your heritage, and that's something that, like, I think is beyond all the buildings and.
So, you've been here since September, right? Have you been to the castles or the dungeons?
I have not. I'm hopefully going to go within the next month. I'm really excited about that. I have not been yet, but it is on the list.
Okay.
It's on the list.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, very soon we're going to be celebrating Dubois. How do you get in touch with the African American Association of Ghana?
I actually met them through one of my aunts that was introduced to me by Miss Godfrey. And so the organization is a very tightly knit family. So it's kind of like I just fell into a bunch of aunties. That's really how I got a lot of my aunties here in Ghana. So I came to a couple events, and I just kind of bonded with all of the wonderful people that were there, and the community that's built here in Ghana for African Americans. And these are like African Americans who've been here for 30 plus years. So it's a really developed community here in Ghana.
Now let's talk about the segregation of Du Bois. We'll come back to your experience in Ghana, but let's talk about that. Tell us what are the itineraries, the events, what's going to happen there.
Well, most of the events occurred during Black History Month. We were celebrating the 150th birthday of W.E. Du Bois. So we had his great-grandson to come and visit Ghana, and that was really great. So we got to meet with him. We had a reflaying ceremony for Du Bois. We also went and took a trip to Ada, which was beautiful. So we went there and spent the day. There was a trip to Cape Coast, which I was able to make. And we had some panel discussions talking about the life of Du Bois and Black history and its importance in our community.
So, when is the event going to happen at the Du Bois Center?
We are having a spoken word. Last year we had a very broad range of artists, and this year we are as well. There will be Ghanaian artists as well as African American artists. And if that's not motivation enough,
are you performing yourself?
I am performing myself.
What are you performing?
I am performing a piece called The Mad Black Woman.
Can you share with our listeners? Anyway, that will be at the latter part of the show.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll go into that. Okay, so you're doing amazing work. Helping schools, working with the African American Association of Ghana. I've attended a couple of their programs way back in 2014 when I was doing my
master's. But that's okay. You'll come to spoken word.
But I love it when I see people doing spoken word. I feel like one day I should come out now. So watch out. Maybe you may be in the US and watch it on YouTube. Kwaba, Jasmine. Now, I was watching a video of Honorable Louis Farrakhan, Minister Farrakhan, and he titled it "Being Black in America." How do you understand this? When you hear this, what goes into your mind?
I think being African American in America has always been very difficult. It has always been a push to be treated as if we are a part of America, and I think it's kind of always been a struggle for us. Like right now, we have the Black Lives Matter movement going on, which is a movement mostly of young people. So people that I went to school with would be marching for police brutality in African American communities. So it's something that we still face today, something we're still fighting today.
Do you think it's something that is going to end one day?
I hope.
What do you think will be the solutions?
I think a lot of people are starting to retreat, starting to start their own businesses, starting to really try to look at their own communities. I think that's important for us because a lot of races have gone through racism in America, but from it they develop their own communities. They start their own businesses. They start throwing money into their own communities as opposed to in other communities. And so I think that might be the best solution for us.
Yes, there was a time when the Black Panther had the first Wall Street in the U.S.
Yeah.
But the KKK came there to burn it down. So what do you think the African Americans should do so that when next time if they build their own industries, they can be protected?
It is difficult to protect yourself in a society that is against you.
Seriously.
And I will say that. But
so on S Live Africa, Ghana's biggest professional on a radio station, and of course on the continent, because this is where we talk about everything black and African. Yes. Our social media handles on Facebook is S Live Africa Radio. On Twitter is X Live Africa. Instagram is Africa.
Okay, so we were talking about black communities. How's that? Okay, I think that sounds a little better even in my ears. So we were talking about black communities and how to combat basically not necessarily a white society, but kind of a white society. A society that's built against us. And I think the solution is to build within ourselves, to build communities, to strengthen our communities, to put money not into other communities. Not that that's a terrible thing to do, but we need to make sure that our communities are strong enough to combat a society that's built for us not to succeed, so that our children are successful and we can pass things on to our children and their children and their children.
Some are saying that the best solution for this situation, because I've been there since the 60s, even before the 60s, the Black Panther movement was there to police the police. Even that it couldn't succeed. They went. Some are saying that the best solution is for African Americans to come back to Africa.
I understand that logic and I respect that. I have nothing against people coming back to Africa. I think that's why we have such a strong community in Ghana, specifically. But I think that it's important for me, not speaking for other people, but for me, to go where I came from and fix the problems there. Because I love Ghana, but Ghana is a different culture than my culture. And so I don't think personally for me the solution is to come to somewhere else and leave problems for my people back home.
This is the situation. This is the land that you built. And build all the cities and everything, the White House. But you are not welcome.
Yeah.
Compare the reception you get in Ghana from children, police, everyone to that of the state. That tells you that something naturally that this is where I belong?
I do feel like yes. I definitely get a lot of
reception,
positive interaction when I'm here. Definitely. But personally, I think it is important for me
to go back and fix the problem.
Fix the problems.
Yeah, that's the spirit of a warrior.
Yes. But I do, like, the community here is really strong because so many African Americans feel that movement. They feel that America has never done them right, never will, and so it's time to return home, to return where they came from. And so then you have a large population of African Americans who live here and have lived here and have citizenship and love it here. And I respect that, and I have no.
You are a pretty young woman. What have you seen about young lifestyle in Ghana that you like and those that you don't like? Let's go.
Okay. Ghana definitely has things to offer young people. I think the only thing that I really see is that there aren't many young people here. And so As far as African Americans.
Oh, okay.
Sorry,
okay.
excuse me. I should specify
yeah.
that.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's
there
true.
aren't very
Most
many
of them that you meet are in their
older. Are older and have
is it because when you're younger, you think that American dream will work, but as you grow, you see that it didn't work for my grandma, it didn't work for my great-great-grandma, it's not going to work for me. Then they see that we have to go. Because that's what I feel. Because for the past 5 years, I've been working with African Americans in and out. I see most of them are young.
Yeah. Definitely, as you get older, you get a little more wise. So I may not feel like I want to live in Ghana specifically right now, but maybe when I'm older, I will. So, but I think if there was a little bit more, I feel like young people felt there was a little bit more opportunity. Not that Ghana doesn't offer opportunity, but if there was more, I guess we're just kind of used to get a job, and then when you work that job, you make your money. Here you have to be a hustler. It's true. All Ghanaians are hustlers, and so.
But the avenues are there for you to create wealth. You know.
It is.
Yeah. And I know a couple of young African Americans who are making it here.
Definitely. Yeah. There was an African American woman who started a chiropractic business here.
A lot of them are into that.
Yeah, there is a restaurant called Delish. Try out Delish.
Where is it?
It is in Okongo Junction. Maybe, yeah.
Around the Legon area.
Yeah, around the Legon area. Mm-hmm. Actually was there yesterday. Delicious food.
Okay. So, there's this dicey question that I ask all my guests. Mm-hmm. Are you religious?
I am not religious. I am a pretty spiritual person. I do feel very connected. I do believe there's a God. I just don't specifically identify with any religion.
Since when?
Maybe a couple years ago. I just don't necessarily identify with one religion.
What happened? What brought this transition from believing in one religion to now?
I think with religion, it is a really big commitment. I think with religion, it's a really big commitment. It is almost like a contract. You are giving yourself and time to this religion. And so I feel like if I'm making a commitment like that, I need to know exactly what I'm signing up for. So
and what you're going to get back from it, isn't it? The mutual benefit?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
And so I guess from childhood you were sent to church and all of that.
Yes.
Until a couple of years that you decided not to go to church anymore.
Yes.
You didn't. Are you trying to say you didn't get anything from it?
Not that I didn't get anything from it. I would not sign on to say I'm Christian unless I've read the whole Bible. Things like that. And I have not done that yet. I've done big chunks of the Bible, but things like that hold me back from.
So what's your take on the concept of heaven and hell?
I
like that doesn't it scare you? That's now you're parting with church and religion. Doesn't the fear of going to hell scare you?
No.
Why?
I think because if there is a God that made me, and He made me the way I am, then how could He ever reject me for being how He made me?
This is deep. So
that's the way I see things. And kind of the same with seeing other people from other religions, which I also kind of struggle with. I don't believe that a God that created me would send me to heaven for believing in one thing and hell, and send someone else to hell for believing another thing. When we're all created by Him, and He knows, He's all-knowing. He knows everything about us when He created us. So I just can't imagine that.
Anyway, you remind me of a friend who was here on the show. She's going back to the States. It's called Imagine More. Anyway, shout out to you, Imagine.
Hey.
So, what would you say is the problems or the negative effects religion has had on we black people, on the continent and outside of the continent?
Well, I don't have much experience with anything besides Christianity, so that's what I'm going to focus on.
That's it.
I think it has such an impact, especially this whole white Jesus. It really affects us psychologically. We see our Creator, the Son of our Creator, as white, which is nothing like what we look like, which creates this, we're not good enough.
Inferiority complex.
Yes, within ourselves. So it's not even that someone else has given it to us. We create it in ourselves because what we think is beautiful and what we think is righteous and holy isn't what we look like.
That's a serious problem.
And so then we lower ourselves. And yeah, I think that's the biggest problem.
So would you say these are some of the reasons why you part ways with Christianity?
I think so. I think if I was still Christian, I would be all like
defending this white Jesus thing.
Yeah, Jesus ain't white. if I was Christian, I would definitely not believe that Jesus is white. There is the way he's described in the Bible would indicate that he isn't white, that he doesn't look like what the image we see of him is, and so yeah.
Wow. Okay, if you tuned in, this is the Affluent Dialogue where we go into the lives of our guests, their journey here in Ghana and their experiences and all of that, and also, the controversial one, religion, and the role. And it's almost like since I've started this show from last year, every guest that I've got here, whether from Jamaica or the US or wherever, has parted ways with religion, especially Christianity. So, where do you think it's going to go, Christianity as a religion? Because now it is Africans on the continent and outside the continent who are making Christianity big. And it looks like, especially those of you from the States, the majority of you are now parting ways with religion. And even on the continent, it has started.
I don't know where religion will go for people in general. I think a lot of people, as far as African Americans, turn to spirituality, where it's more about connecting with your ancestors and trying to understand where you came from so that you can understand where you're going and who you are as a person, which is important, especially for African Americans who lost a lot of that history. And so I think that's kind of the shift that's being made, especially for African Americans in Ghana. So a lot of them are more spiritual than religious, and focus more on, who they are.
What would you say about the life of Du Bois, W.E.B. Du Bois?
I think
we wait for our callers to call him. Yes.
I think his life was so influential. A lot of the African American community that is in Ghana was influenced by W.E. Du Bois. He came here when he was 93, and in that time, he really was exploring his history and the importance of African Americans coming back home, which he wouldn't even say Africa; it would just be coming back home.
Yeah.
So I think the diaspora community today would not be what it is without W.E. Du Bois, which is why we have the Du Bois Center, and why we honor him with his every birthday during Black History Month, which actually his birthday falls in Black History Month. And so we just celebrate him because of his impacts on the world and his impacts on bringing Black people back to Africa.
That's interesting. Because for a man to say that I'm leaving the States, come to Ghana and live there forever.
Yeah.
That brings us to, whilst some people want to leave the state, some young Africans, even some adults, are doing everything to die to go to the state.
Yeah, it's a very interesting complex. I've been asked many times to bring people back to the States, and my response is always, it's not what you expect it to be. African Americans and Black people in general face so much with going back to the States or visiting the States. And so, yeah, it's interesting to everyone that's African American to want to migrate here, and Africans who want to migrate there.
Yes, I was having this conversation and somebody told me that the reason being that when Africans from the continent go there, one, the white Americans don't show them the racism they show to African Americans to the fullest. Because, for example, they know that if they shoot a Ghanaian, just like they will shoot an African American, they have a bilateral relationship with Ghana and that can be destroyed. But they feel like if I shoot African American, we are all here. And nothing, you understand? They know if they shoot a Chinese, the business with China will destroy. So they are careful with that. That's one. And the Ghanaian goes there and only about how to make some money and come back. But you live there and everything they do goes on. Have you personally have an encounter with racism? Personal experience?
Absolutely.
How did it happen?
I have, actually, the school that I went to was all-white school. And it was in Birmingham, Alabama, which is a southern state, and sometimes it can be a little racist.
I want you to share with us your moment, your encounter with racism.
I don't think there are certain times where it's super blatant and this happened to me and yada yada. But it's almost like a subtle racism, which is worse. It's almost like white people are comfortable with this racism to the point where they don't even recognize that they're being racist when they are. So I had a class, and this woman, she was a white woman, she was talking to the class, and we were talking about Black people who could pass for white back during the 60s. And she had a slideshow, and one of the slides was a white woman and a Black man. Both looked, I guess, lighter. They were both lighter toned. They both were in black and white, so it wasn't like you could really tell the skin tones and the facial features a lot. It was a black and white. Both were black and white photos. And so she goes into this thing about how black people would pass for white. And when she gets to so when she got to the slide with the man and woman, she asked us, which do you think is black? Which was really weird in itself. So we all decided the lady looked black, I guess. And she was like, no, actually that's my grandma. The other guy is black. And it's things like that where it's like, one, that's so unnecessary. Two, I don't get the point of you putting these two pictures and, you know, trying to qualify your grandma as a black person or not a black person. Yeah. And so in a class where I think it was me and one other girl who were black. We were the only black people in the classroom. And it was just a really interesting thing that happened.
Okay, we have a caller on the line, and she is in the person of Dr. Kaneda Bruce. Dr. Kaneda Bruce is on the line. Good morning, doctor.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. How about yourself?
We are great because it is Wednesday and you know what it is.
That's right. It's time for the sport dialogue.
Exactly. So
I interrupted the story. I want to hear what happened when the woman was playing showing the slideshow, black and white slideshow.
Oh, okay. That's me. Tell her.
So me and the other black girl in the school, in the class, we both kind of looked at each other and we were like, "This is so inappropriate." But all of the other students just kind of thought it was normal. So we sat in class.
So showing two colleagues all in black and white.
No, it was a white woman and a black person.
Black person.
Yeah.
But the picture is in black and white.
Yes, and one
I'm
was
asking you which one is black.
Yeah, and one was of her grandma.
Actually, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it was very. Yeah, we didn't understand.
Okay. Doc.
Okay.
Okay. I hope you've got it.
There's a couple of things I wanted to comment on. It's good to hear you and Aquala. It's nice to see representation from our younger brothers and sisters. It's always exciting to hear that. But I want to weigh in on what you said about the subtlety of the white supremacy system, the global supremacy system. Dr. Francis Walton and many others rightly refer to that. And that is that it's not really subtle in the sense that what you do, if you do the same thing as an African person that a white person does, you're not going to get the same result. And that's the issue. That's the defining piece.
I'll be happy for you to give examples.
So if a white person shouts at a police officer and an African person shouts at a police officer, you're not going to get the same result. The white person will, in all likelihood, not be put in a chokehold, not be tased, not have the gun strong on them.
Exactly.
Not be threatened with arrest. That's the difference. If there was a woman many years ago on the Oprah Winfrey Show, an older white woman who had broken into crazy, 2,000 or 4,000 homes before she got caught, and people were stunned. They're like, how do you have that many burglaries without getting caught? And she said, well, I'm a white woman. I'm an older white woman. I was in broad daylight, in a nice outfit, and just walk up to the door. And she says, I can talk in 2 minutes, and I'll be in. And so someone asked her, well, what did you do whenever you came up on a house where someone was at home? She said, I just pretended to be confused and think it was the wrong house. If a black person does that same thing, they're not going to get the same result. No one's going to call the police on a white person casually dressed walking around in a certain type of neighborhood. But people will call the police on an African person casually dressed walking around in a certain neighborhood. So the issue is that the defining feature is that when we do the same thing that they do,
Mm-hmm. Go on. Hello?
And that, going back home and solving problems back home. I think for people, if we say to ourselves, yes, I understand that the vast majority of us in the States are not indigenous. We didn't come there on our own accord. The vast majority of us were taken there. However, it is what it is, and I just want to make limits out of the state. If that's what some people choose to do, that's perfectly fine. But we do not get ourselves into the mindset that going to America is going home. Here is home. And, people all day long leave home. They leave home and, they're gone. And that's fine. That's their prerogative. They get to do that. But what I think a lot of experts are talking about is the mental and psychological confusion around what's home and who our people are. I take exception to a lot of repasts who come here who form their own enclave because they create in their minds demands as others. We have problems with demands have problems with us, therefore it's us and them. Wherever you are, you're going to have problems with each other. This is nothing new. But for me, for repasts to come back home and form their own enclave, that's their prerogative, it's what they want to do with their resources. But why come back home to segregate? I'm coming back home to integrate. So for me, not only am I coming back home to integrate, but it's just natural and normal to interface on a whole level with Ghanaians. Whether they recognize us or not, whether they accept us or not, we can make the same arguments in the States. A lot of us in the States, we don't accept one another, and we don't recognize one another. If you tell my mother, how many African children have you given birth to, she's going to tell you none. Because she's not. She has, as Wade Noble said, a certain degree of menticide. She has a certain degree of cultural amnesia, so she's not thinking of herself as an African woman having given birth to African children because she's been, to some degree, de-Africanized. Right? So I think that we're talking about, coming to the continent, leaving the continent, forming some type of career or life path or whatever. I think having a proper orientation is going to be key toward helping us identify our next steps. And those are some of the thoughts that popped into my mind as I was listening to Kay. Not to correct her, but just some things that it kind of stimulated in my mind some thoughts.
And I think, you are a bit older woman, while she and many others are younger. And as I said, sometimes when you're young, you think that the American dream will actually be fulfilled. Well, what do you think about that? That maybe because you have grown to see everything not making it, you now see that no, you know where to go home and where not to go home. What do you think about that, Doc?
Well, I think that essentially what you're saying is how okay is it to be naive? The American dream is an illusion. It never existed. Whose dream was it? And what is the American dream? Baseball, hot dogs, apple pie, and Chevrolet? What is the American dream? Is it, come and just make yourself into something? Well, if you make yourself into something only to be pimped and co-opted by the powers that be, how much of a dream is that? That sounds like a nightmare to me. So I think we have to really be realistic when we're talking about the American dream and trying to identify what we're doing. I think the African continent, quite frankly, is Africa's best secret for Africans in the diaspora. Those of us who have been scattered, around the globe. Because it's here, it's not or that we can identify a lifestyle and a way of life where we have actual degrees of freedom. Now, some may argue that that's being encroached on and that that's not going to last long. You may agree, you may disagree with that. But as it stands right now, and as Kay and you have already indicated, people can come here and reinvent themselves almost to infinity many entrepreneurial opportunities here, it's not even funny. And those many of those entrepreneurial opportunities don't even require a huge capital. And the ways in which we can learn, this is what gets missed in the conversation so many times about this. The critical interpersonal information that we can learn from each other is absolutely priceless. The ways in which you resonate intuitively, the ways in which you still, despite religious toxicity, resonate with nature, with the natural cycle of things, the ways even in which you resolve conflict. You can't holler and shout at each other in the States and think it's just going to end there. It ain't going to go good if you get to a shout match with somebody in the States. But here, there's a different maturity. It's more developed, it's more evolved, so that, yes, we shout at each other, but no, this doesn't have to result automatically in a shooting or a knifing. There's ways in which you walk slowly, the way you move through life, the way you do things, that sends a message to us who are on the treadmill of life in America and other places where we are just driven. So when we come here, we see the way that you move through life, and it's like, oh my God, why am I just so driven like that? I can just like crack and breathe, kind of relax, slow my roll. You're not going to be able to get that in the States. In fact, when you're in the States, you get that when you go on vacation. That's pretty much it. It is not a way of life. So there's a lot of hospitality things that we can learn and relearn from the man. There's a lot of ways in which there's flexibility. There's a lot of ways in which they take them not too seriously. There's a lot of ways in which they help us to remember and recover our Africanity. And I would argue that this is a safe place, continentally speaking, for us to do that very thing, to regain our psychological equilibrium with respect to who we are and where we're going, so that, guess what? We can say, okay, now, beyond all of this past and stuff, where were we before we were so rudely interrupted?
Okay, do you have any question to Dr. Kanida Bruce?
Yes. Good morning.
Good morning.
I agree with you definitely. Africa has been amazing to me, Ghana specifically. Ghanaian people are so relaxed, especially coming from the U.S. Like I said, I worked 2 jobs, had really long days to come and be here. And like this morning, I was late. And my Uber driver was late, and it was just like a whole big thing. And I got here, and you were just like, it's fine. Yeah. Like, we're here. It's good. Right. And so that mentality is definitely something that I love to see and I love to be a part of. My only kind of question is, have you done any background about your heritage?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Okay. Are you from Ghana?
Yes and no. Yes and no. My father, when I used to visit him and his wife, when I was a little girl, my mother would let me go and visit them for brief periods of time. He first told me that I can recollect. I was 5 years old, was the age that I recall him telling me that his people come from Madagascar. Okay. And I learned about 2 months ago that my mother and her sister were well aware that my mother's father, who was my grandmother's husband, that his people also came from Africa, and everybody it was just like common knowledge. And I was shocked when I found this out a couple of months ago because no one ever said the word Madagascar, except for when that, Disney movie came out. People were like, are you going to see Madagascar? Are you taking me to see Madagascar? That was the only time I heard them say the word Madagascar, literally. And then when I did the DNA test, I found out that my maternal mitochondrial DNA places me with a 100% match with the year of
I'm
not a woman because I'm in Ghana.
Yeah, and there's no difference between the Ghanaians and the Nigerians actually.
There you go.
I'm a Niger. Okay. Do you have any questions? Okay. So, Doc, it's important you've called. There's this question. Somebody sent me a question yesterday, and I want you to help us since you are a psychologist. He says that it looks like most African American women, when it comes to consciousness, knowing about African history, spirituality, you are top notch compared to the women on the continent. But there's one thing that you also are finding difficult to do, that's re-Africanize yourself. For example, cooking for your husband in Ghana. Like your husband, like me, I can't go to KFC, I can't go to the mall. I want you to cook in the house. I want you to wash. I want to marry 2 women. Is it true that this is difficult for African American women to do, no matter their level of consciousness and spirituality, whatever you?
No, not at all. There are a lot of conscious women, first of all, who are on the continent. And my own personal experiences from what I can see across the landscape of social media is that there are a lot of critical, powerful, brilliant thinkers, women who hail from Nigeria. For some reason, Nigeria just cranking it out like that. And then from there, if one does the homework, you can find a lot of great African women thinkers and scholars and authors and scientists throughout the African continent. So I think I would beg to differ on that piece. However, I think what people are talking about is the formality of roles. And when it comes to the formality of roles, African women in the States, who are born and raised in the States, are more accustomed to those lines being blurred, the formality, and so those lines are softened, and they're not so hard and rigid, and they're more easily, passed through back and forth. So, we can, I know a lot of conscious women who love to cook. That's just their thing. So, but
I only used cooking as an example.
Yeah, I know.
The question was about when it comes to the things African women do on the continent, you won't get our sisters from the state doing it. They hesitate doing it. They rebel. They argue.
Well, it's not that.
Well, I think what they hesitate with is being taken advantage of. If someone trying to force them, pigeonhole them into something that they can't contort themselves and retrofit themselves into. And I think, in all fairness, that's what a lot of women are saying. I think at the end of the day, women are like, look, I don't mind pleasing my man. But what I do mind is somebody trying to make me feel like I have to do it or else.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
Yate, why? Anyway, my final question to you before, if you have anything to say before you leave the line, is are you going to be at the Dubois Center on what's the date?
March 3rd.
March 3rd. For Dubois' 150th birthday.
I'm not sure. I think I might, as you know, Fuad, I'm doing a lot of things.
And I know.
I think I have a conflicting date with that. So yeah. So hopefully it'll go well and it'll lend itself towards unity and expanded consciousness.
Exactly. Your final words before you drop out of the line.
Well, I think that people, wherever they're living, they just need to remember who home is, where home is, excuse me. And then from there, they need to remember who they are. We're Africans. I come to Ghana, I'm a Ghanaian woman. I'm in Mozambique, I'm a Mozambique woman.
Yeah.
And for me, that's really the essence of what it is.
And the beauty.
I'm being so cliquish and clannish, that I end up essentially painting the values and ideals of white supremacy in black. And just doing the same thing except in blackface. We grew up knowing that family, blood is blood. And when you see us, then you see your family. You're seeing your brothers and sisters.
Exactly.
You know, we grew up doing things like kinship housing, where somebody's from the town. I remember, I'm not even that old, but I remember people being offended that folks would come in town and stay in a hotel. It's like, well, you know, stay in a hotel. What are you trying to say? What's that mean?
Exactly.
And now it's almost the reverse, right? Somebody wants to stay with you, and you're like, what's up with that? Why are you trying to be up in my crib? So, you know, I think the second advice that I would say, remember where you come from, and is to remember who you are. And then thirdly, when you do what you do, whatever you're doing, does it complement, does it add to your Africanity in the African survival front, or does it take away from it?
And I was saying that the beauty of it is that when you step in any African country, until you start speaking and your accent sound American, we see you as a Ghanaian. Like Jasmine here, if you're walking in the street, nobody would think you are from the U.S. They think.
Well, you know, you might find it people out there. More and more Ghanaians are asking me if I'm Ghanaian.
Yeah,
More are asking me if I'm Ghanaian. So here's one thing I say to them when they talk about how much it sounds. I say to them, I said, Sonny, your voice doesn't sound like a Sudanese friend.
Yeah.
Your voice doesn't sound like, well, other best friends, Ethiopian. Your voice doesn't sound like that. So who's more African? So it's not that one.
Exactly. Anyway, thank you very much, Dr. Kanida Grooves, the administrator for the Guanas Community University WhatsApp group, and she's doing 1,000 things in Ghana right here. Bye-bye.
Jennifer, you're doing great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so that was Dr. Kanida Grooves. Okay, so I hope you've learned a lot from Doc.
Yes.
She's been here for the past four years or so.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we've met. We've met a couple times.
Let me tell you, if you're listening right now, there's so many good things in donation and giving alms, you know. There's a program going on. It is called Clothe the Naked Outreach. It's taking clothes and back to school drive to the northern region of Ghana. We are going to share clothes, school uniform, backpacks, sanitary, footwear, etc. for needy people in the deprived communities of the three most poorest regions of Ghana. Please support this cause by donating through MT mobile money number, which is 055-780-8749. Let me take the number again. So if you want to help peoples in the northern region, school peoples in the northern region to have school bags, school uniform, and you can just do your donation wherever you are through the mobile money number 055-780-8749. 055-780-8749. 055-780-8749. That's the number you can actually donate through. If you're listening from outside of Ghana and you want to do PayPal, the PayPal Gmail account is clothe the naked edus@gmail.com. Okay, and it goes on to say that a donation of 10 Ghana cedis could buy one pair of flip-flop for some needy child. A donation of 20 Ghana cedis could buy one backpack for some needy child. A donation of 50 Ghana cedis could buy one set of uniform for the needy child. What are you willing and able to help with? And please be assured that this is purely a membership-based charity organization where members volunteer for their money, time, and service to get project done. So nobody receives salary in this organization. And remember, donations from the US are tax deductible. So let's all help to clothe the needy. So once again, the mobile money number to donate your money through is 055-780-8749. And we are still on the diaspora conversation right here, and my guest is Jasmine K, and she's been amazing just like all other. And she is a lefty. She writes with left. I told you you do some spoken word. Is it something you do? For how long have you been doing it? Or you just decided to try and do something at a Dubois event?
No, I actually have been doing spoken word since high school. And I could play you a piece.
And let's listen to some of your words. What's the title of this one that you're about to play?
It's only an excerpt, so it's not completely finished,
okay.
But it's called Are You There?
Are You There?
Words almost never come easy. But I'm gagging on the words, grasping on the silence in the air. I am not good enough. Your fears echo in my ears, and I sit in silence and share the best reassurance. I hear you. But because my lips don't take shape to negate your thoughts fast enough, that deems me unworthy. I am silenced with the loudness of your tone. If only I could draw enough air to provide the words that you need to feel complete. If only I could string the words along articulately enough. If only you would hear me. But silence consumes me because I know these things must come from within. I sit awaiting your epiphany. Are you there?
Whoa. That's amazing. What's the concept behind it? What are you trying to tell the world with Are You There?
So I had a friend and we were dating and he just didn't feel worthy. He didn't feel that he was good enough. And you can't make someone believe that they're good enough. You can't make someone feel something that should be within themselves. And so I wrote something just kind of raw emotion of how I felt
about the situation.
Yeah, about almost being incapable of telling him that you should know that you're good enough. Yeah.
Wow. This deep, and you sent to him. Or you wrote it and sent it to yourself.
I wrote it and I have not sent it to him. But we are still good friends, and I did have a conversation with him about it. Yeah.
I'm told all artistic people are emotional. How true is that?
I don't know if we're emotional. I do think when we experience emotions, they are more intense, and that's what drives
others to appreciate what we are doing. Because
yes.
I think without emotion, if you don't put your emotion in what you're doing, I certain somewhere cannot feel it.
Yeah. And so I think with that raw emotion, and it's so much, and we feel it so intensely that we put it in our work. So we don't, we get angry, but when we get angry, instead of screaming about
laughter,
it,
all of that is part of emotion.
Right. We put it into a piece of work.
Okay, I think we have a caller on the line, and this will probably be Omo Ayodele Sosu calling from Ridge here in Accra. Omo Ayodele Sosu, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. Good morning to you guys too.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been an interesting conversation, and I really appreciate your work. So the spirit of Ebony.
Ebony Rays, yeah. Okay, Omo, go on with your contributions. Hello?
The continent, and as far as we as African men, we always love them and treat them the way we want to treat them as African men. So we have no fear, we love them for our team, and we made that we love to do. And there are plenty of guests. It's been interesting, and these are, that was spoken, what is wisdom. But we always do it. And there was a comment made about Africans who move from Africa and go to the US to work. Like, they seem to experience
racism. I said that they seem to experience racism like the African Americans there.
We refer to that. I would say a lot of them are not conscious of this. Even when they're thrown at them, they're out there to
No, sometimes, you know, I think.
So you don't feel that there's like, I'm supposed to take my money and leave, and they're already, so they are not aware of themselves. They're not conscious of themselves. They do not value themselves at that way. So, not that they don't see, but maybe the point is they don't want to. Just like, my boss is maltreating me, or this person is just, no, they don't just know white organizations. They don't understand all these things. So I can see, there's just actually, your education and your leadership is very educated. We hope definitely will get it. And I'm happy to say that I think, regardless of the post-traumatic stress disorder, I think we on content have post-traumatic colonial.
Oh yes, that's true.
Now we dig it into also. The experts talk about more psychological. George talks about. So we are really from hammering. I'm not aware. I read more things. I'm not aware. I watch that. I'm hammering. But I think about how I'm doing something which I'm really like that. Hopefully we get it.
Exactly.
Because Warner because
thank you very much. Omo, Ayodele Sosu. You know who Anansi is? Anansi is the wise spider. The spider. Okay, so in Ghana we have something called Anansi stories.
Okay.
Every story is centered around, and 4 pages is centered around the Kwaku Anansi, the spider.
Yeah.
You know. So you were in Ghana. I saw a picture of you behind the Black Panther movie.
Yes. I actually saw it here.
You watched it at the mall.
Yeah, at the mall.
Tell me, what summarize it for me. What is it about? What did you learn?
It is about amazing Black people in Africa who show Africa, or show all of us the potential Africa has if it uses its resources well. Yeah, so it was just amazing. We had some amazing Black women, which you don't have often in movies. And so I think the women were just so strong, and that's Black women. Black women.
Black women.
Oh, they're so strong.
You can't break them.
You cannot break a Black woman. That's the truth. So when I saw it, it's about Wakanda, which is a place in Africa. It's a cloaked country, and they have resources that they use to produce technologies, weapons, things of that nature. But the underlining point of the movie is that they don't use those resources to hurt other people.
Wow.
But in the end, they started to realize that it's important to help the rest of Africa. So even though Wakanda was doing well, not only do they need to do well, but they need to bring up the rest of Africa, so all of Africa can prosper. So I thought it was an amazing message.
You are pretty young, as I said up there. You are pretty young, and I always, when I have people of my age close and maybe beyond or above, I like to ask, what are the dreams, things that you want to be known for when you're no more?
I actually, and this might sound like a very odd answer, but I am okay with not being known. I'm okay with no one knowing my name as long as I make an impact. As long as I can affect at least one person's life, because that's enough for me. So it's enough for me to just help someone else to the point where I don't even realize that I may be helping them, but I help them. And I don't know, that's just good enough for me. I don't need my name in headlights. I don't need to be in history books.
You want to be behind the scenes?
Yes, I want to be behind the scenes.
Wow.
Because it's about the people that I'm helping, not about me. It's not about what I'm doing. It's about it's about the effect that it has on the people that I'm helping.
Wow, that's interesting. All right. So finally, we've come to the end of the show, but I want you to talk about the upcoming events on the 3rd again.
Yes.
Before we leave.
All right. So if you're just now tuning in, we have a spoken word event. It will be at the W.E. Du Bois Center. It is completely free to the public. So bring all your family, bring your mom, your dad, your cousin, your sister. It's kid friendly, so you are more than welcome to bring your children. And we will be selling barbecue. Triple AG will be sponsoring selling barbecue. So bring your appetite. And there'll be Kelly Willie and
Kelly Willie
and yam chips. So come out, support the artists. It'll be a great show. We're expecting wonderful artists to perform, and
including yourself,
including me.
The final word, the words to people in the state who are not here, who have not been here before, who have skeptical mindset about Africa. What would you tell them? And what the experience that you got here, if somebody want to come, things that you tell them to do and things you tell them not to do?
I would tell them to come experience it for yourself. There is nothing better than being here and experiencing it for yourself. You can see things on the internet, you can see things on TV, but you'll never really understand what it's like to be here until you get here. So get here.
All right. Thank you very much, Jasmine K, for being my guest today on the show. So if you're interested and want to attend, and you should be interested if you think you believe in blackness and you want to experience something magnificent on the 3rd of March, call this number. If you want to go to the Du Bois Center at the spoken word event, you call this number 0547 129 782. 0547 129 782. And anything that you want to know about the event, somebody will be there to assist you for location, directions, and what have you. They'll help you with that. And anything that you want to know about the event, this is where we say bye-bye to you.
Your views, and your views. What would life be without an